by Nebraska fans for Nebraska fans, Dear Old Nebraska Brew is your go-to for every kickoff, touchdown, and celebration. Whether it's tailgating, watching the game at home, or gathering with friends, this beer is there to bring that perfect game day refreshment. Dear Old Nebraska Brew embodies the spirit of Nebraska with every sip. So crack one open and let the good times roll. Dear Old Nebraska Brew, the official beer of Nebraska alumni. Please drink responsibly. Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 29th is $1 off per pound on New York strips. Spend $50 and get a free brick of ground beef and 25% off on tea. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Urology Partners of Nebraska is Lincoln's newest full-service urology group. Urology Partners uses state-of-the-art treatment options for both men and women, including some exciting treatments new to our community that help you get back to your confident and active lifestyle. The team at Urology Partners is dedicated to quickly and effectively restoring your health, with new patients typically seen in clinic within 48 hours. Whether you have questions about your prostate, incontinence issues, kidney stones, or erectile dysfunction, their team has you covered. Call Urology Partners today to schedule an appointment.
Davis Plumbing is a locally owned company specializing in a wide range of plumbing services for both commercial and residential customers. Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and has a team of experienced plumbers ready to help you with any project, big or small. Customer satisfaction and peace of mind is their number one priority. So for any commercial or residential project, give Davis Plumbing a call today at 402-525-6922. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Fast Friday, Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, DPs are traveling. This is Old School. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Greens and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 13th Yankee Hill, 85th and Andromat, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. I always got to get it. I always got to read it off of this thing here. Look, it's the day before. I think the Huskers are there and, out to prove themselves and to see, where they stand. I think I think you'll see a different team this week. I think you see a more, obviously, internally motivated team, I guess you could call it. I think you could also say that you're going to see a better performance, and which I think will be more along the lines what people expect and grew to assume over the first. So that was 6 games, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're 5-2. That was 7. Yeah, so 6 games. So I think it's all set up for them to have a good performance. I think the early game can work in their favor, but I think ultimately, the earlier the better. I think having to sit around after you didn't kind of play well. I think the getting back in the heat of things is probably the best thing for them.
Is Ohio State a good environment as we would judge them in college football? Because I know Michigan has kind of that wine and cheese atmosphere. Wisconsin, you would rather play at 11 because the students won't be there.
Yeah.
What kind of environment is Ohio State?
It can get rowdy, but I don't think it's like vicious like Colorado or anything like that. Now, Indiana's fans were ignorant and got, they never won before. They're just probably doing what they think they saw like on the internet, throwing stuff at guys or people and getting into it with Nebraska fans after they won. And, so it's they're in the, Indiana fans are in this mix, right? they're not really supportive, but when they go and they've been winning, they act like they've been there before and they don't know how to act, and so they act ignorant. I think Ohio State, they've won a lot, and they view themselves as, they're upper echelon, and so they'll be excited because the team is home and all that. But I don't think it'll be to the same intensity of Michigan, which works to Nebraska's favor. But Austin,
yeah,
today, the first. What do you call the first one? Inaugural?
Sure.
I'm asking you. You're the smart one.
Well, I don't know what else
when you
you're
do
say.
something the very first.
Okay,
one.
sure. Inaugural. Let's do it.
Are you sure?
Let's go with it.
Yeah. The Foreman's 4.
Ooh, we got it. What we got, Jay?
And
Let's
it's brought
go.
to you by Fast Mics, though.
Oh, hey, Fast Mike.
I'll do the read later. The Foreman's 4. Here's what the Foreman's 4 are for you people listening out here, and I'll tweet it out here. Text message, let me know what you think about the Foreman's 4. We'll do this every Friday. I'll probably either do it Thursday or Friday. So for the next 5 weeks, I want to give a shout out to Nia Davis. She did it for me. It's going to be through Jay Foreman YouTube and stuff like that. But she did a great graphic.
Little AD, way to go.
Little AD. Little bit. And I wonder if she even likes hearing that. She probably don't ever want to tell me because she's way too nice. Like, I don't want to hear that. Little AD. I got Naya. Anyway, appreciate it. Hey, first, the Foreman's 4. Number 1. You listening, Austin? Number 1. You listening? Look at Ellie. You listening?
She's locked in.
You locked in?
That's a yes.
No, she's not. She's coming in here and say we're doing something we ain't supposed to. Here she comes.
No, she's going to help someone at the front desk.
Oh.
Way to go, Ellie.
Yeah. I thought she was pointing at us. I did. She looked. I was like, "Can you hear me?" Yeah. Well, we can scratch that. Number 1 on Foreman's 4. Forgive yourself, but never forget. Right?
Yep.
Part of the healing process is forgive yourself for not performing up to your standard, maybe not doing what you're supposed to do, or just flat out just didn't show up, whatever it may be. Recognize it, answer it, fix it during the week, but never forget. You want to know why you never forget, Austin?
You need something to motivate you.
Motivate
to burn
you. And it can motivate you for the rest of your football career, it can motivate you for the rest of your life, but more importantly, will motivate you for the rest of the season to attain the goals that are still attainable that you wanted even before the season. So that's number 1. Number 2, which is probably the most important, if you look at Chip Kelly's offenses over the history when they've had trouble being, explosive or having the teams that had the most success against them defensively. But then also, this is also for our offense. You got to win first down. Win first down. Win first down means no negative plays, no direct access plays, or no negative plays on first down, and also win the down. So if you want to have it anywhere against this Ohio State team, 2nd and 7, maybe 2nd and 6 at the most, depending on the play call. Right? Mm-hmm. You want to win that. You want to win first down.
So success rate is defined as gaining 50% or more of the necessary yardage per down. So on first down, a successful play is 5 yards.
Yeah, and for our offense, we want to make sure that we're at that 3.5. The worst case scenario, 3. I would say 3.5, 3.25 on first down yardage. Now, obviously, it's 3 or 4 yards, but if you do it over the length of the game which you would like to win. 1 that gets you in 2nd and manageable. 2nd, I call it 2nd. Instead of say 2nd and manageable or medium, 2nd and realistic. Realistically, we can run a pass play or whatever we want to get a first down on 2nd down. This is Ebonics' version of Jay Foreman's version of football. That book will be coming out later. Just kidding.
So what you're saying is Nebraska's whole playbook is open to it. 2nd and 7 and in, and then 3rd and 5 and in, 3rd and 4 and in. Where's the whole playbook available for Nebraska?
Well, if you win first down and then say you break even on 2nd down, so that means you're in 3rd and 4 or less. Playbook is whatever you want. I mean, obviously, if you're running the ball or you feel like you can get him in a formation you can run, or you could do a tunnel screen, smoke screen, that's kind of an extended outside run, or you can run your play action or intermediate pass game. Now, that's all based on play call and all that, but you want to make sure you have some obviously realistic success on first down. That's huge. Yeah. And that's any game, but particularly when you're coming into this game on the road, on the environment. Now, we could get into the easy things where we're like, okay, we got to pack our run game and all that. And, that's just, that'd be just too simple, right? The Foreman's 4 are things besides the knowns.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Specific to this matchup.
Specific to this matchup and specific to this game. Look, am not going to sit up here and say, well, we can't turn the ball over. We've been talking about that.
Thanks, Captain.
Right? I mean, yeah, Captain Obvious. So let's be honest. And then number 3, which I think is so important on both offense and defense. And I'm explaining this, and this is just what I call these plays. Again, when I describe football, I try to do it as if I'm hanging out. That's what I feel like when I come in. I'm just hanging out and kind of just doing whatever, right? So eliminate direct access plays. So offensively, at the point of attack or the backside, eliminate direct access to whatever you're doing, whether it's a run play, inside, outside run, or a tunnel screen, or I used to call it now route when you're getting it and you're throwing it quick to the number 2 or the slot or tight end. And then there's a free runner that has direct access to blow up your play. A direct access in a play action or drop back is that they're directly, as soon as the ball snap, essentially has direct access into Dylan's face, or direct access into, Dowdell or Emmett, where they can, just directly affect the play. And why that is so important, when you see this Ohio State defense and how talented they are, and they got number 91, they got 33, they got 44, they got corner, they got everybody, they got Lathan and all these guys, right? Where they struggle at, if you make them earn it, they'll beat you, right? But if you can be steady and make them earn it versus just letting them,
have it on easy mode.
Have it on easy mode where they just, stunt inside you. You don't get a hand on them, and then they're getting a tackle for loss. And what happens there, for what people I'm talking to is just think if somebody's backside, and just imagine number 91's in a let's say a 3 technique. So he's lined up on the outside shade of the backside guard. So just say the right guard, and the play's going left. So he stunts into the A gap, right? And I hope I'm not, telling you, I'm not a prophet or anything, which you should be able to cut him off, right? But then you need the tackle's help as well. So this is where you have to be in sync and understand you have to block those guys that could have direct access first. So if he goes in the A gap, and then just say the play side, that means the center, the play side guard, the tackle, the tight end, and let's just say the H-back or fullback, everybody wins their blocks. So just say for instance, they just knock everybody down. That's a big hole, right? And say we actually get a block out there on the perimeter.
Even bigger hole.
Right. So you're like, okay, we got to win, right? This is the best case scenario. We got win. Mm-hmm. But we allow direct access on the backside. That plays a loss. Guess what happens after that? Everybody's tweeting we can't run the ball. Everybody's saying we need better play calls. Now we need a better coach. No. We need to eliminate direct access. You do that over time, it makes them beat you. It makes them play football. Now they can still do it. But if you want to win this game, you got to make them beat you. That means we have to play winning football, but execution and eliminating direct access to our offense is imperative. And that's what happened at times, when we couldn't really function on offense on the road there in Bloomington.
When you see direct access plays from a defender's standpoint, is it normally because the offense whiffed their assignment, or is it because you had such a good read, such a good
sometimes
first
both. Sometimes
which is more common?
50-50? It's 50-50. I
Okay.
mean, because you could really get lucky and you're stunting into. Sometimes you could be slanting left, and it's so much movement, it throws off the lineman's block count, per se. And then you ricochet off, and then you make it. So you kind of fell into it. So,
but it still counts.
It still counts, right? Or somebody whiffs, where sometimes linebacker, you kind of give somebody a stutter step and he freezes. Boom! Now I got a tackle for loss there. Or I always talk about the time that Ray Lewis made the play on Darren Sproles out there when they were playing at that time the San Diego Chargers, where he saw a little gap and shot the gap. That's a Hall of Fame player making
not
Hall of Fame.
assignment,
Right? That's just Junior Seau made a living off of that, and that's how great he was, right? So now defensively, direct access. Here's how it's important. If you go back and look at it, direct access is a conventional run, inside outside zone. No, forget the shifting in motion. This is just say all that's done, or they just line up in it, and somebody either on defensive line or in the front 7 linebacker has a bad read, and then they have direct access to our second and third level. That puts our safeties in a very, very, impossible position to be effective open field tacklers, because that is a lot of space without any deviation of their path. Mm-hmm. And we've seen that in the first drive.
Yeah.
We saw it in the
two good running backs, so they'll make you pay.
Yeah, and they had two good running backs as well, and they made us pay. And it could be not just the 60-yard run or the 40-yard run that we gave up last week. It could be those 12-yard runs on first down where, like, if you're a caller on defense and you're saying, okay, for this is the tendency, this is the defense, I feel this is one that will, be a winning call, and something happens, then you have direct access to me, the second level, and then now you're really playing defense, defensively versus being aggressive and playing offense.
Linebackers and defensive linemen are used to getting blocked. Safeties are.
Nope, and in safety, there's always a time clock in your head when you have to come down out of your back pedal or whatever your coverage is, and make a tackle.
Yeah.
When you're not even your back pedal and those running backs are going full speed, you're in trouble because the timing's up. Yeah. So
you're not supposed to be put in that position.
Yeah, and you heard me talk about, like, in the run game, you want to make the lineman burp, right? That's essentially I am winning or stonewalling the lineman at the direct access point that is now making the running back pitter patter or go or deviate off his path. That allows the defensive end, linebackers, whoever, safeties to come in and make a good tackle. Then you're like, you know what? That's a really good tackling game. That's a really good defensive possession by that defense, and that's how you can set the edge and condense that. So it all works together. But direct access plays, which hurt us last week, are definitely in the run game. And here's an example in the pass play, in the pass game. So say they're running some sort of play action or RPO, and my job in the slot or as the number 2 defender, or I'm displaced. That means I'm out in space trying to cover a tight end or a slot. I need to get a jam on him so he doesn't reach up to the safety that's in the post. Well, I give him direct access up to you. That means he's free releasing and he's eating up your coverage. Now you're in a RPO bad position. That means you're compromised. You're definitely compromised. So it goes in the run and pass. I call it direct access. And why is it so important? And defensively, not allowing direct access on releases on offensive guys, and obviously in the run game, throws off a rhythm and timing offense. What does Chip Kelly's offense like to do?
Rhythm and
timing and tempo, and then they get into the motions and all that stuff, and that will slow down their process as well. And you've seen it all the time. If you ever want to go back and Google when Jim Harbaugh was at Stanford and Vic Fangio was the defensive coordinator, it was one of the things that came from him.
When you think about a football team specifically, as talented as Ohio State and a play caller like Chip Kelly, if you have a talent advantage as a football team, do you like to go tempo, run more plays, and give your athletes a chance to succeed? Or do you like to slow it down and count on your athletes to execute more?
I would think like you'd want to do a little bit of both. I think if you're really rolling and the energy is good, I think that's when you go tempo and just kind of score and get it over with. But then also you'd like to systematically, which they didn't do against Oregon enough, line up, punch people in the mouth, and really play big football. And that's what kind of hurt them at the end. Yes, they had the lead, but you weren't able to eat up some clock, and it was just off. It was like they were scoring too fast. They were trying to just match score for score. Then it became an ego thing. And, here's the other thing. Here's where ego in football kind of hurts you. The definition of ego in football is like you care too much about your personal stuff, and then it clouds your judgment when it comes to the team. An ego would be like, okay, I'm so fixated on winning my one-on-one battle against you. I'm not even doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm just trying to see what I can do for you, and it ends up not being winning football. So I guess that's a little asterisk. Number 4 and last is limit the run after catch and accentuate our run after catch. Limit the run after catch with Ohio State because they have 2 pretty much first-round receivers at wide receiver and a really good young tight end. Look, they're going to catch some balls, and you're going to give them some space. But eliminating or really, really not letting them get off run after the catch really keeps them off rhythm. You get what I'm saying? They feel right now as they're going to their whatever they're doing, they feel like they can get like 80 yards after catch, like throw a hitch, break a tackle, 20 yards. You want to limit that, obviously. 0 would be great. It would be fine. It would be probably one of the best defensive performances in some time. Not going to happen. But realistically, you want to limit it. And then you want to try to make sure you put the pressure back on their weak spot, which is the tackling on the perimeter. And number 10 is right where I'm going at. If I'm a receiver and I want to get my get back from last week, I'm going right at 10 in the run game blocking, and then obviously in the run after catch. As far as we're still legit wide receiver group. We just had an off week, and we're going against a potential first round pick and improving ourselves.
Jeremiah Smith gets a lot of headlines for the receiver core. Where are you at with Egbuka? Like he's a good receiver, and I think it makes sense that he's been in college for a while, right? Maybe not as good as some of the guys that have passed him up since he's been on campus, but he's a dangerous upperclassman. So
I think he's legit. I think he's always had to be second fiddle. Robbing to everybody. They had 2 or 3 Batmans, and he's kind of always waited his chance. And this was supposed to be his year to be number one. And here comes Smith, and he's been there and done that. But I think, I think his best days are ahead of him. I think when he goes to the next level, you're going to see him be that 2A. Now, it might take some time, but telling you, look, he's got sure hands. He's got great body control. He's tough as nails, and he knows every position to play, and he runs excellent routes. He's going to find his way.
He strikes me as like the Mike Williams to everyone else's Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's not injury prone. Right.
Yeah. They just kind of roll in how he's used.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so and he's probably not as athletically gifted as Nico Collins with my Texans, but he's an under the radar 3rd round pick.
Ooh, okay.
You get what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And he might go higher, but he's a guy that, whereas like when he gets drafted, they'll talk about Jeremiah Smith. But then in 2 or 3 years, they're going to be talking about him finding his way and being pretty good. So that's Foreman 4 again, brought to you by Fast Mike's Hauling. I'm going to tweet it out here. First one. We're going to do it every Friday for the rest of the season. Appreciate their support. I'll put the video out again, and we'll post it. But we're going to take a quick break, come back. And Austin, we're going to talk a little college football last night. Syracuse. Here's what's funny.
I was wrong. Let me just say I was wrong.
When McCord came on his visit, everybody was like, we're getting McCord and his boy. They split up.
Fleming.
And McCord been lighting it up for a while. But, man, he needs that rabbit's foot back.
Whew.
That was tough. And it was some bad luck, too.
Yeah.
And they could not, I could not believe they couldn't figure out 2-man. That's what Pittsburgh ran. Essentially, 2-man is man-to-man with cover 2 safeties. Then they ran some cover 4 now, but literally it was 2-man, sitting on everything hard and inside with safety help over top. Chief Borders made some plays.
He did.
Yeah. So give it up to Chief. Yeah. So representing the ticket well out there in Pittsburgh. But we're going to take a quick break. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 29th is $1 off per pound on New York strips. Spend $50 and get a free brick of ground beef and 25% off on tea. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. This week's 93.7 The Ticket Athlete of the Week is Joe Kalega of Omaha Skutt High School. Kalega racked up 215 receiving yards on 11 catches with 2 receiving touchdowns, in addition to picking off the Bennington Badgers twice, returning one of the 2 picks for a touchdown. Kalega drained a 25-yard field goal late in the 4th quarter to seal the Skyhawks' victory, snapping Bennington's 46-game winning streak. The Ticket's Athlete of the Week is powered by 3 Pillars Performance. Unlock your peak performance with the expert instruction at 3 Pillars Performance in Lincoln and online at 3pillarsperformance.com. The Rabbit Hole Bakery, located at 8th and Q in the Haymarket, is the ideal place for fresh breakfast items or desserts made daily. Cream puffs, cinnamon rolls, carrot cake, sweet potato, pecan cookies, brownies, blondies. Do I need to keep going? What about bread pudding with homemade bourbon caramel sauce? Stop by the Rabbit Hole Bakery at 8th and Q in the Haymarket today to satisfy your cravings. And if you're looking for larger group orders, they do that too. Order ahead on their website at therabbitholebakery.com today.
This is State Senator Carolyn Bosson. Public safety is important in our community. I have a proven record of protecting public safety. I have prosecuted perpetrators of domestic violence, advocated for the rights of child abuse victims, held sexual predators accountable, and fought to keep drug traffickers off our streets. This is Senator Carolyn Bosson, and I will continue to fight to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bosin on November 5th. Paid for by Bosin for Legislature.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
This October, the Bonsall Spooktacular 10 event is back with spooktacular savings all month long. Stop by anytime in October to discover incredible deals, including hot tubs as low as $5,995. That's up to 20% off MSRP. Plus, enjoy 10% off infrared and traditional saunas. Don't miss out on these hauntingly good offers. Visit Bonsall Pool and Spa today. Bonsall Pool and Spa, every day made better at 33rd and Pioneers. Urology Partners of Nebraska is Lincoln's newest full-service urology group. Urology Partners uses state-of-the-art treatment options for both men and women, including some exciting treatments new to our community that help you get back to your confident and active lifestyle. The team at Urology Partners is dedicated to quickly and effectively restoring your health, with new patients typically seen in clinic within 48 hours. Whether you have questions about your prostate, incontinence issues, kidney stones, or erectile dysfunction, their team has you covered. Call Urology Partners today to schedule an appointment. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, old school crew on this Friday, 1040 Oak Street. Live in effect from the text line. 2021 says, from someone who has been to the Horseshoe multiple times, Ohio State fans are terrible to anyone they play. Be ready. Come ready to fight, Nebraska fans. Same with the team. Big Bird says success is 4 to 6 yards per play. LOL. Yeah, I'll touch on that. Here I'll say that since I will say again. Be on the lookout. I'm gonna tweet out that Foreman's 4, but Fast Mike's hauling about that. If you would ask me right after a game, well, first of all, right after we got our butt kicked, when we do our, I guess on Wednesday practice after a hard practice or something, what our defensive goals were, the numbers, I wouldn't have been able to give you an answer. I wouldn't have. Now, granted, he probably could have just talked in general and been just fine. I think the biggest thing is whoever was asking the question was looking to get noticed or whatever. And so I never really got bent out of shape about the not knowing exactly what you want, then compared to the national average. And here's my example, and I'll do this and then we'll read some more text. So when Heinrich Harburg had the first attempt down there, I don't know who it was, missed the block, right? So just say they're at
24.
12, right? Okay, it was at the 12. So then they ended up at the 12-yard line, whatever it was. If that one block is made, 99% chance he scores. So that's one run for 12 yards. Well, then they score the very next play. It's still 2 plays for 12 yards. So it brings you down half. Just imagine how many they've done. Then that question is not asked. So how important is one block? That was a direct access block. By Foreman's 4. I think that will probably be in there every week. Foreman's 4. brought to you by Mike's Hauling. So that's how important it is.
But it's even more important against Ohio State because they won't miss tackles in the backfield like some other teams.
And that's what they thrive off. That's what they want to do. They kind of they're a physical team. They can get into I think they're more portable. They can go play anywhere, but they definitely like the front run. They they would prefer to get out there, get 14 points, get tackles for losses, and
peacock it a little.
Yeah, peacock it a little bit. Yeah. John and Cortland says, I only have one. Handle business up front. Take care of about 50% of all your issues. Yep, that's true. Now, tonight, I'm going to ask, I'm putting Austin on the hot seat. See, a lot of people don't think I know anything about baseball, but I'm reading off the thing here. So I don't know anything about baseball. I'm just reading. I can still read. Austin, Yankees, Dodgers. I want to ask you this. Now we'll get into it. Is the outcome of the World Series based on who comes up bigger, Judge or Ohtani?
I hope
like whoever wins that battle.
I hope so, but I don't think so. I think Major League Baseball, if they can set it up, it'll be, Yankees have a chance for Aaron Judge to walk it off in Game 5 or whatever in New York, or whatever game it is. And then if not, let's set it up for Shohei to do something cool in the bottom of the 9th in Game 7 in Dodger Stadium, right? That's how they want it set up.
So you get the Kirk Gibson running around with the
pulled hammy. And the fist pump and whatever. Yeah. I think that's what baseball wants. But so often in baseball, Jay, you need the stars, but it's not always about the stars.
Yeah.
The reason I'm more confident in the Dodgers in the series is because their lineup is deeper. The Yankees don't have an atrocious lineup, but the Dodgers, of their 9 starters, only one is below league average by a couple metrics. Yankees have 3 guys above league average right now. Now, in terms of just pure offense, Judge and Soto are the 2 best players there, right? Like, don't get twisted. Ohtani's really good, but he's 2B.
Yeah.
Maybe 2A with Soto. You can't differentiate, but Judge is the biggest offensive force, at least in the regular season this year.
Yeah.
But the Dodgers go 1 through 8, sometimes 1 through 9. So as much as Major League Baseball might like it to be decided by, a big Aaron Judge blast here, or the Shohei Ohtani show there, to me, it's going to come down to who in the 6, 7, 8, 9 of either lineup comes through in a moment they're not expected to. Neither starting rotation is elite. Yankees probably get a little bit of an edge. But if the Dodgers aren't, or the Yankees aren't pitching it well, it swings to the Dodgers.
Oh, that's great, Austin. As I'm reading here, this goes question number 2. Love to read these easy questions. Now, does it change? And does the 1, 2, 7, 8, 9 in Yankees lineup naturally get an uptick with Phillips not on the World Series roster and Flaherty's loss of velocity off his pitches? So then now, even though the Yankees don't have the pitching staff compared to the Dodgers, well, now they do by a process of elimination.
Phillips was a righty killer.
Yeah.
It was nuts. Just the movement on his pitches, that would have been a fantastic weapon to have against a Judge. Hitting there in that 3-hole behind Soto in the 2. Yankees do have some left-handed power, and I think that plays really well for them at their stadium. I mean, it's a little league stadium to right field. Like, I could hit a home run there. Tells you anything. I've barely gotten one halfway to the outfield at Haymarket, and I could probably crank one in new Yankee Stadium. But that Phillips was going to be a situational guy for the Dodgers, really just to neutralize Judge, who was better, but Judge hit a home run off of the hardest pitcher in baseball to hit a home run off of, in Emmanuel Clase in the postseason for the Guardians. So you like to have all your bullets in the chamber. The Dodgers pitching staff was a little rough anyways. Flaherty was a nice midseason trade deadline pickup for them. Not a huge needle mover, but it's a testament. Again, I'm going to go back to that lineup, Jay. No Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers, essentially. You trade for Tyler Glasnow, who's hurt like halfway through the year. Flaherty gets dinged up. Ohtani's not on the mound pitching for you. Walker Buehler, who is your young stud, not really pitching. Urias, who was played in some postseasons before, dealing with some domestic violence stuff. So you're down essentially 4.5 or 5 of your top guys. Your Japanese rookie was okay, solid enough, fine, but not necessarily lights out. So on the one hand, yes, it hurts the Dodgers because they need all the pitching they can get. On the other hand, that lineup's so good it might not matter otherwise.
There it is. Yeah, you got a texter here, Austin. He says 8750 says Judge doesn't hit in the playoffs.
That's the narrative. He was not good in Kansas City. I will tell you that much. Let me go to his baseball reference page here really quickly. Okay. So Aaron Judge postseason batting. We can do this postseason. So he was 2 of 13 against the Royals. And then only 3 of 18 against the Guardians, but he had 6 RBI in that Guardian series. He walked twice. Still 9 total bases across the 4 games. Not atrocious. Like, no, he's not hitting like the Aaron Judge we know from the regular season.
Yeah, nobody does generally unless you get hot.
It's one thing, like, we can talk about this in football where you have more time to game plan for specific matchups.
Right,
Same with
playoffs,
basketball.
right.
You can tailor it to an opponent. Baseball's the same thing, but what's underrated about baseball playoffs compared to NBA and NFL is how you can specifically set up your roster for your opponent. In football, you're probably carrying, the same 53, at very least the top, same like 47 or 48.
Yeah, top 36.
36, whatever. Yeah. In basketball, you got what you got going in.
Right.
For baseball, you can cut all those middle relievers with the ERAs that are over 4.5 or 5, right? Those guys don't pitch. There are days off between games. So you're seeing higher velocity, nastier movement every day. Just getting rid of the bad pitchers makes it that much tougher on hitters. So no, Aaron Judge's numbers aren't great, but he still had some of the biggest moments in a couple of those series. So what defines a good postseason player? I mean, yeah, you want a guy that hits 300. You want a guy that, slugs 500, whatever. That's just not realistic in this day and age in baseball. So you can judge these players, no pun intended, by how they fare in the big moments. Like Juan Soto, right? Came through. Giancarlo Stanton, your boy, hit that home run in game 3 that swung the series, I would say, against Kansas City. So don't just look at batting average. We should be past that. Narrow it down to the moments that he came through or didn't come through.
There it is. World Series preview by my man, Austin Oerman. Austin, on a scale of 1 to 7, 7 being the most important, how important is it to win game 1 in the World Series?
It is more important for the Yankees than it is the Dodgers, I would say.
Well, obviously, yeah. Because then you're playing with house money.
Right.
So
for the Yankees, it's a 5.25. For the Dodgers, it's an even 4.
Right. Yeah. So Dodgers obviously feels like their bats travel really well, which they do and have. Anyways, we want to take a quick break, come back. We got Upside coming in. Obviously, big UFC fight again. You know what I mean? This weekend, which is about that time. You're going to start to see Clash of the Titans, but they always have drink specials, and she always brings in some good drinks. But before that, Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, quick break, and we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of healthcare, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Now's the time to get your John Deere equipment inspected and prepared for next season. Acres trained technicians will thoroughly evaluate your machine and get it running at peak performance. And for a limited time, Acres is offering early inspection incentives. Sign up before December 15th and qualify for a discount on parts installed by Acres. Get no interest and no payments until November of 25 with approved financing through John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. Contact your nearest Acres location for details.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, take over $11,000 off a 2024 Ford F-150. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1004296, MSRP of $66,645. Must finance with Ford Motor Company and have a qualifying trade and approved credit. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 11/13/24. See delivery details.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's most dependable side-by-side, the Mule Pro, built to take on your most demanding days. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of October. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Stop by every Saturday for their Husker tailgate with free food, drinks, and games. The Rabbit Hole Bakery, located at 8th and Q in the Haymarket, is the ideal place for fresh breakfast items or desserts made daily. Cream puffs, cinnamon rolls, carrot cake, sweet potato, pecan cookies, brownies, blondies. Do I need to keep going? What about bread pudding with homemade bourbon caramel sauce? Stop by the Rabbit Hole Bakery at 8th and Q in the Haymarket today to satisfy your cravings. And if you're looking for larger group orders, they do that too. Order ahead on their website at therabbitholebakery.com today.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 29th is $1 off per pound on New York strips. Spend $50 and get a free brick of ground beef and 25% off on tea. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. Like we said before, we got a special guest in here, CEO extraordinaire from Upside. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Always a pleasure because you always bring us treats. We never get any treats. We're here at 4 to 6. We kind of get thrown. We get super fan Mike sometimes, and when you come in, we always love when you come in. You bring us some drinks.
Yes, I always try.
Yeah. So how's everything been at Upside? I know obviously you got UFC fight, and you're bringing in your special drinks. It is fall, right? Officially.
Yes.
So what's new out there at Upside?
It's been good. Like football's going. We have the Sunday ticket, so we've been doing a $5 taco bar on Sundays all day, and it's just been building up bigger and bigger, and it's pretty fun. And what else? So tonight we've got karaoke with a costume contest and cash prizes and some other fun stuff from vendors. So some coolers and a few things. So tonight's going to be a big night, I think. And then tomorrow the UFC fight at 2:00. So
have you done costume karaoke before?
We did it last year. Yep.
Any good costumes last year?
Are you gonna have to send over the pictures so we can post them on the ticket?
Yeah. So last year there was one of my friends that actually wears Waldo, so he would just randomly pop up and just take pictures everywhere. That was pretty fun. And gosh, we did have a lot of good ones last year. So I think this year is going to be even better. So
any food specials for this weekend?
We've got like a pulled pork sandwiches tomorrow, and then we're all doing because of the away game. On the away games, we do a taco bar. So $5 taco bar again on Saturday away games. So that will roll right into the UFC fight. So.
And people, if you don't know, you do most of the cooking. You right?
Yes.
And the menu.
Yes.
So you wear about 15 hats when you're out there, right?
I try.
Yeah. And still standing. Now it's UFC 308. Again, we always go over it. Obviously, it's going to be football on Saturday. It's going to be sold out like always. And so when the doors open, if they want to park out there and get a full day's worth of sports, and then obviously get the UFC fight Saturday night.
Yeah. So we open up early because of the Nebraska game. So we open by 10:30, which means I'll be there about 9:30 getting ready. We will have a Bloody Mary bar as well going. And if you just get that for free if you buy a Bloody Mary. So.
Oh yeah. So do you make the Bloody Marys?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we use a pre-mix, but then I add
All
other
the
stuff to it.
So what do
Yeah.
you add to it? So because it depends, right? There's bacon, right, Austin?
I'm not a Bloody Mary guy. Tomatoes not my vibe.
Yeah. So I
haven't had the right Bloody Mary yet. So
So maybe that's for next time. I think
Should
if you
bring one in.
right, do you put spices in it, or how do you make your Bloody Marys?
Salt and pepper, Worcestershire. I can't say that sauce.
Just call it W sauce. It's called the Dove, right?
Hot sauce.
Yeah.
And then I use pickle juice. I love pickles, so pickle juice in it. And then we use a bacon salt rim. It's actually a bacon salt that's in Hickman, I think. I can't remember the name of the company, but yeah, so really good. And then we also do we have bacon vodka, we have pickle vodka, we have a spicy pickle vodka. So you can kind of pick which vodka you want to put into it. My favorite is the bacon vodka.
Denny's?
What's that?
Denny's bacon salt?
No, Fat Boys. There we go.
Yep. Yeah, you got to give the local product.
I love
See,
it.
Austin, sometimes
I'm
they
on.
put celery in there too, so a little bit of health.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we just added wings to the menu, so now we have some celery on hand. So we've been adding that to the Bloody Mary. I like when I can use things for multiple purposes. So.
Once again, they open up at 10:30 a.m. Obviously, the game kicks off at 11. Then you got football all day. And is there a break between the last football game and then the prelims, or it just goes all day?
So since it's in Dubai, it actually starts at 2:00.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, so you go right from the football game to UFC.
Yeah. There might even be a little overlap there, but we'll have whatever's most popular, for the sound, we'll have that on the main TV.
Yeah, because if the Huskers are handling business,
yes,
you wait.
And if
they're
it's
not,
last week, we're going to UFC fight.
UFC 308. Obviously, you're here. What did you bring us today?
We have a lemon drink. It's got champagne and limoncello.
Classy.
Yes, very classy.
See, we're getting right. We're moving up the depth chart, right?
Yeah. And some gin. And then I brought another espresso martini because I just love them. And this one is the espresso martini mix with oh my gosh,
butter pecan.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember earlier. Butter pecan.
And do you have names for these or just?
So that one's just butter pecan espresso martini, and the lemon one is the lemon one on the fall menu.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Austin.
Which one are you going with, Jay?
It's your world. I'm just living in it.
Let's do the espresso martini.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's
cheers. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, the butter pecan smell.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. A little roasty.
Yeah.
Light coffee
Roasty.
taste.
Yeah.
Butter pecan.
Oh, that butter is smooth. Not usually an espresso guy, but yeah, nice.
It's just a great fall drink too. So,
is this on the fall menu or all time?
Fall menu, but we can make it all the time. Yeah.
Nice.
That is definitely a fall. I mean, obviously it's nice today, but it's what do you say, about 40, 50 degree day?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is if I'm walking around the pumpkin patch with my wife and kid. It looks like I'm having coffee, but we all know.
Yeah, yeah. Every pumpkin, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Don't do it when you're Christmas tree shopping, right? Yeah.
That part. All right,
I
Jay.
like it. I'll give that out. I do 1 out of 7. The new grading system. I'll give that a strong 5.860.
I'm with it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
with
like
it.
it. Right?
I'm with
we there on it?
Yeah.
All right. What's the next one? This is the
classy one.
This is the classy
Yeah.
one,
We
right?
have the champagne and the limoncello.
So this is the one you're telling us that we need to be more classy.
Yeah, pinkies up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, you need it. The nickname is knock your socks off. Right?
It's pretty good. I like that one.
This is what you call it. There, you
Yeah.
got a name for it.
Yep.
You can.
There is a name on the fall menu.
I like the fresh lemon.
drawing a blank.
Part of me was expecting the sugary lemon, but I like the fresh lemon.
Yeah, this is this. I like this one better than I wouldn't like it if it was sugary.
Yeah.
This is great. This is light.
Again, that's why I know it's classy because it's not that fake lemon
Yeah.
sweet. So
Yeah, this one is.
2 for 2.
This is a 6.4 for me.
Nice.
Oh, I'm higher.
Oh, you're higher.
Yeah, I'm like 6, 6, 6, 8.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, 7 over is
That's hard
tequila.
to get.
I guess real.
That's tequila. Yeah. But this is really
it's
good.
right there.
Yeah.
It's right
I'll take anything in the 6 range. I feel like that's good.
Indeed.
If 7's the top, then yeah.
Where does your 1 through 7 come from again?
My grading system.
Yeah, but how'd you come up with it?
Decided.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
1 through
okay,
10
okay,
is too
okay,
much.
Okay, sorry.
1 through 10. I actually should be 1 through 8. I don't like odd numbers. I shouldn't have told anybody that. Then people be jacked. All right.
But so is 4 like 3.5 is half of 7, but 4 is between 1 and 7. So what's the midway point for you on your 1 to 7 scale? Is it 3.5 or is it 4?
For me, 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm gonna change it to 1 through 8. But in my mind, it's gonna be 1 through 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Why don't we just keep it
you
1 through
can't really
7?
hit an 8. Like, I mean, that's like, yeah. Can't
You
be
can
the
hit
top.
an 8.
There's always room for improvement, though, on everything, I feel like.
You could be an 8 plus.
Ooh.
If it's, done right,
Like Major League Baseball's grading scale is 20 to 80.
That's why it's baseball.
Yeah. I don't get it.
And so after the fight, then it's football games all night?
Yep.
And it's taco bar
Taco bar,
until when?
Usually till after the game. We'll kind of judge it, or I just don't fill it up again after the game. And so.
And then what is the menu after UFC?
Just our regular menu.
Regular menu?
We've got, wings, now burgers, flatbreads, nachos. Yeah, a lot.
Anything added, especially for fall? I know you mentioned flatbread.
So the wings are actually new, and we had to get rid of the buffalo dip because they stopped making that. But
Sad.
the wings are really for air fried, and they're pretty
Yeah, you
good.
explained about it last time. So what flavors do you have now, or what flavor is your specialty?
Buffalo and barbecue. So we keep it pretty simple because we're not trying to compete with the other restaurants
Franchise,
down there. Mary Ellen's down the way. They've got some really good barbecue and wings, and stuff like that. And then there's a wing stop, I think, right next to us. Like we just
They don't matter.
a couple flavors.
Yeah, they don't matter. I mean, once you get them there, they're gonna like it as long as it's done right.
Yep.
Austin, what's your favorite between buffalo and what is it? Buffalo and barbecue?
Yep.
What's your favorite, Austin?
I would probably lean barbecue wings. Yeah, barbecue wings.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
We got in the works.
You're a Buffalo guy though, Jay. You gonna disown your city like that?
No, my favorite is lemon pepper though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then I kind of just depends on what type of mood if I'm on. If I want to be a little spicy or whatever,
We're working on a wing challenge thing, so I ordered a bunch of those like hot sauces. Like
Jay Foreman's done.
Nope.
I'm not doing it either.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely not.
Do not bring those here, please. Okay, you will not
Do
be
not
invited
enter.
back. Yeah,
we're full. We ate.
And then it goes to Sunday. I want to tell the ticket listeners, obviously with the Sunday ticket, but then also there's been a lot of early games as well. But you guys have Sunday ticket, which is, if you don't know, Sunday ticket is extremely expensive. They have a great setup out there for Sunday games, starting to get into fun time in football where you're starting to see some separation. What time do you guys open on Sunday morning?
We open at 11, so that we're open for the first games.
There it is. Look. And you get to see Austin's teams are playing my teams the next 3 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I'm in for it. My team's bad. Jay's teams are good.
What's your team?
Colts.
Yeah, I don't.
She even knows it. Like, nope.
I haven't really heard much good about him.
Yeah, same.
Again, outside, bar and lounge, bar out there on what's the address?
2801 Pine Lake Road.
2801 Pine Lake Road. Excuse me. Tonight is karaoke and Halloween costume party.
Yep. So best singer and
Best costume.
costumes. Yep. All right. So we'll have, and like I said, we got cash prizes. There'll at least be $100 in cash going out, plus gift cards. The more we have, the more I'll throw into the pot. So.
Right. Well, you make sure to send them to us, and then we'll post them on the ticket. And then tomorrow they open at 10:30. Get there at 10:15. Be waiting outside. Get ready for the Huskers to pull off an epic victory, which will be done by 1:56. And then 4 minutes later. Yeah, because that's how you're gonna win. You gotta run the ball. You just get through the commercials, send Ohio State home, and then we'll have UFC 308 coming from Dubai, but played out there at Upside with the taco bar and Bloody Mary in Austin. You have to bring Austin Bloody Mary next time.
Next week I will.
Okay.
You gotta at least try it. If you don't like it, that's okay.
Put a little celery in there. He's a health freak. Get him a couple of little shrimp cocktails.
For 2 years now. You know better than that about
wing on there.
Yeah, get him in there. and then just bring them a Jack and Coke too. That's
Wash
enticing.
it down, man.
So appreciate you coming in. Like always, appreciate the drinks because we don't get anything here from 4 to 6. Once again, tonight, costume, karaoke. Tomorrow, Huskers, UFC. Sunday ticket, plus great food and wings and drinks. I will tell you, on the scale of 1 to 7, 7 to 8, whatever you want it, definitely we're a high 6s going towards perfection. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, we'll be right back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Over 75% of the patients that come to Limitless Male have been told over and over again by their primary care providers that their testosterone level is fine. Guess what? If you have all the symptoms of low testosterone, you're not fine. Come get a second opinion at Limitless Male. We have helped tens of thousands of men feel optimal again, and we can help you. Stop waiting. Come see the men's health experts. Book your free consult online at limitlessmale.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 29th is $1 off per pound on New York strips. Spend $50 and get a free brick of ground beef and 25% off on tea. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through October 27th, enjoy USDA Choice Boneless Beef Crock-Pot Roast for $5.99 per pound, whole bone-in pork butts for $1.88 per pound, 8-ounce stuffed pork chops, 3 for $10, and Fairway's famous and original beer brats for $3.88 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Hi, this is Investigator Joe Villamonte with the Lincoln Police Union, asking you to vote for Carolyn Bosin for legislator. As a prosecutor, Carolyn Bosin has always supported law enforcement to keep our community safe. Carolyn Bosin has the experience we need. Carolyn Bosin is the only choice for legislator to keep our community safe. Join the law enforcement community in voting to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bosin on November 5th.
Paid for by Bosin for legislature.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we want to thank all of our customers for a great September. And now it's time for our annual Halloween sales event happening right now at Coppell. Get 0% financing at Coppell. You heard right, 0% financing on select new models. Also, huge discounts up to $11,500 are available. It's our annual Halloween sales event. Get $11,500 off or 0% financing at Coppell. So please stop on by or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did 0% with roof credit.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze out of the north and a high around 65. Tonight, clear skies and calm winds, with a low around 36. And tomorrow, we'll see increasing clouds throughout the day, with an afternoon high around 64. I'm meteorologist Kyle Puck from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey guys, it's Nick. You know how much I love beer, and this game day, show your Husker pride with Dear Old Nebraska Brew, the official beer of the Nebraska Alumni Association. Brewed by Nebraska fans, for Nebraska fans, Dear Old Nebraska Brew is your go-to for every kickoff, touchdown, and celebration. Whether it's tailgating, watching the game at home, or gathering with friends, this beer is there to bring that perfect game day refreshment. Dear Old Nebraska Brew embodies the spirit of Nebraska with every sip. So crack one open and let the good times roll. Dear Old Nebraska Brew, the official beer of Nebraska alumni. Please drink responsibly.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back like we never left. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School. We're brought to you by the Mercado. Hopefully you guys got over there and got their lunch special. It's always rub-dub-dub grub over there. Appreciate Atlanta coming over from Upside to bring us some treats and some drinks, but then also got karaoke night along with costume night, at least $100 cash giveaway plus gift cards. And then you got the game tomorrow and UFC 308 and then Sunday ticket. So action-packed weekend. Always lots of fun. Always appreciate her or one of her associates coming in and bringing us some stuff. And be on the lookout, I guess, on the social media of whoever wins the karaoke and costume. So anyways, we're back at the top, 5 o'clock hour. Got one more long segment here, me and Austin, before I'm going to dip out and go knock Nick upside his big old waterhead. Touched on the Huskers. We got a text in here from John and Cortland. He said he's coming in late, but number 2 from the Foreman 4, the tight ends and receivers cannot miss blocks downfield or setting the edge. So I don't know what that means. That means
can't miss anymore.
Yeah, can't miss anymore. But we're not going to miss. Number 2 is obviously we got to win first down. So, anyways, the Foreman 4 again. Forgive but don't forget. Win first down, eliminate direct access plays, and limit their run after the catch, unless I guess accentuate. Is that even the right word?
That's the right word.
See, there we go. See, Austin.
Way to go.
Yeah, there you go. It's great. I can read it off here. Accentuate our run after catch, but nevertheless. There was a game played last night, and this is how funny things are. You know, Kyle McCord was supposed to be coming here until there he is. Look. Hey, is that Pete Ferguson right there? Yep. There he is. That's him right there in that car? That looks like his profile. He's a Cowboy fan. He got rough going right now. He don't even got us on there. But anyways, Kyle McCord was supposed to come here. Played at Ohio State, went in the transfer portal. As soon as he heard any rumblings online that Cam Ward, it's crazy how the transfer portal spooked guys into leaving, right? Cam Ward was supposed to all but a sure thing to go to Ohio State.
Till he wasn't.
Hey, listen, if Cam Ward was at Ohio State, woo, cold-blooded.
Who does the U get if he doesn't go?
It don't matter. If he was at Ohio State, to what he was, oh my God, I'm glad he ain't there. Kyle McCord packed up, and was gone. With the quickness, was supposed to come to Nebraska, didn't. Went to Syracuse, back home, performed, was pretty much unstoppable all year, and ran into a buzzsaw last night in the Pittsburgh Panthers, man. And they had a good game plan probably for Syracuse, who doesn't have a lot of talent at the skill position. They got a Rondé Gatson Jr., who was their leading receiver last year, that plays kind of a flex tight end. Who's pretty special, but besides that, they don't have anything. They got locked up to the tune of, he threw the ball, I think, 64 times and had 5 picks.
3 of them were worth 6 points.
3 TDs to the crib
in the first half.
In the first half, the last pass, which essentially the running back forgot to catch the ball, went off his shoulder pads into the line. I mean, if you're talking about a defense that's humming, that was not a good performance. They came in 5-1, left 5-2. Pittsburgh remains undefeated. Big shout out to Larry Fitzgerald Jr., who is the most famous Viking ball boy. I am the OG along with, you know what's crazy? Are the Viking ball boys.
Probably it's like
I'm the third.
The lineage.
But I'm the third in popularity. Larry Fitzgerald Jr. is the guy. He's a Hall of Famer. He's the most popular.
Okay.
Guess who number 2 is?
Lane.
You knew it too quickly. And then me.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dang. Tough scene.
My dad's the only one that played there.
But I'm sure you were the best ball boy, even if you're not the most famous.
I was.
On a performance on a per snap, a per duty basis.
Yeah, per duty basis.
I'm rolling with Jay Foreman.
Oh, definitely. Well, probably because Larry was hanging out with Randy Moss and them, and Lane was doing no work. None.
Lane was coasting off of Monty.
Lane, you know what Lane would do when we were doing it? Let's say we had to go clean up towels or something. He'd walk, clean up 4 or 5, and then he'd be gone. And you had to get it done before they came in and really deep clean the locker room. Lane would get missing. All of a sudden, he bathroom break Lane. No, anyways. But so the Pittsburgh Panthers held serve. There's a game tonight, Austin. Rutgers. Is it at USC?
At USC.
9 o'clock tonight?
Yes.
9 o'clock tonight. Two teams that took hard losses. I'm going to ask you this. Who had the worst loss? USC at Maryland last week or Rutgers at Wisconsin? Which one hurt more? Which one do you think is harder to overcome? Because Greg Schiano's not going anywhere.
No.
And maybe Rutgers got too much hype in the offseason, and so they're in a worse position than us. They have definitely not lived up to national expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Right? National expectations for them, they were supposed to be top 7 or 8 in the Big Ten. They have not played that way. Whereas USC came out of nowhere, beat the brakes off of LSU. You saw it. Everything were back. They had the best season intro video that I saw out of everybody in the nation. Had Snoop in there, planes and all this other stuff. And then are starting to slide. Obviously, lost to Penn State when they had control of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Penn State came back in the second half and then went all the way out to Maryland with a 3-score lead at halftime and ended up losing by 1.
We forget that Rutgers also lost to UCLA at home. So back-to-back weeks, they've had 42 put up on them by Wisconsin and 35 put up on them by UCLA. And that, to me, is probably the most painful part for Rutgers, like you were saying, a defense-first, defensive-minded head coach. Yeah, they're out. Was it Toure? Mohammed, their linebacker, he's out for the year, tore his ACL, I believe it was, before the year, which hurts, right? But that's still a defense-first program you think would compensate for it. Seeing Wisconsin, an offense that was still trying to find itself, put up 42 on you, feels pretty bad. UCLA, Ethan Garbers hasn't been that great. He runs up 35 on you. So that's painful. And I mean no disrespect, but it's still Rutgers, right? USC, Jay, has had fourth quarter leads in each of its last 3 games. And I believe in all 4 of their losses right now. Against Penn State, you're up, the offense is humming, and you let the Nittany Lions right back in it. Minnesota before that, you're up 17-10 going into the 4th. You get blanked 14-0 in the 4th quarter. And then the 3-score lead at Maryland. This is a Maryland team that started the year out hot and then lost its first 3 Big Ten conference games. Very quickly. That's a program that does that pretty consistently. Starts well in the non-conference, get into conference play. They'll end up about 500 in conference, get to a bowl game, but always just kind of leave you wondering, well, what if they won this one game to spark something? USC can't finish. Plain and simple, they can't.
Right.
I think part of that's Lincoln Riley, right? I think you talked about Chip Kelly and his DNA. I don't think USC is as explosive as some of these Lincoln Riley offenses have been, where if USC gets up 4 scores on Maryland, it's probably over.
Yeah.
But 3 leaves the door cracked just enough in college football for a good enough team to come back, right? This USC team doesn't have that same knack of getting up that one extra possession on teams like Lincoln Riley's Oklahoma teams did, right? Not a lot of defense being played in Norman when Lincoln Riley was there,
right?
But they'd be up 4 or 5 possessions instead of 2 or 3,
right?
And maybe that's the Big Ten. Maybe that's a talent gap from what he had. I don't know. So it's painful enough for Rutgers, but you're still Rutgers. Sorry, buddy. There's always next year. For USC, you had the world at your fingertips.
Right.
You started out hot. Okay, tough luck against Michigan. That's a tough game. They were ranked at the time. You can move on from that, your first Big Ten road game. You beat Wisconsin. You come from behind. You're feeling pretty good about yourself. And then you let 3 fourth quarter leads slip away. That's brutal.
And do you think that's like a game plan, so that would game planning issue, clock management issue, so then that falls right on Lincoln Riley's feet? Or is it actually USC got up for LSU for the first game of the year and really aren't as good as, well, I know the answer, aren't as good as everybody thought and assumed defensively, because now they're starting to wear down?
Yes and yes. The score of that LSU game was 27-20, which is a little more defensive than I would have thought it would have been going into the year.
Yeah.
But holding this LSU offense, which is really rounded into form, to 20 points, looked better by the week. And even scoring 27 on him, LSU's gotten better defensively.
They're humming defensively
right now.
Yeah.
Like a 20-something% havoc rate, I think was the last I checked, which is really darn good. LSU's got a big one tomorrow. We might talk about it in a sec. But Jay, at some point, you are what your record says you are. And obviously, I don't want to come down all on it's all on the players, it's all on the coaches, right? I'm not monocausal explanation guy over here. But at some point, it does fall on Lincoln Riley, right? Your teams continue to not be able to finish strong, right? I mean, think about the USC fade with Caleb freaking Williams as your quarterback.
You did the same thing.
You did the exact same thing.
So do you think this is it for Lincoln Riley? Or, because he's been under Paul Finbaum is on him. And now I think Paul Finbaum, if I'm going to give Paul Finbaum some credit, is he's probably more mad that Lincoln Riley tweeted out on Thanksgiving, that dry ass brisket.
Drier than a bone.
Man. And then Paul Finbaum has just been mad at him. I think he's mad at him because
he ducked the SEC.
He ducked the LSU job. And he probably knew the intertwinings of it, that probably Lincoln Riley was taking the LSU job. And then he's like, oh, this is the easier job. Now you're in the Big Ten. You're in the same position. What you should have just stayed at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But he's on the national hot seat. You started to hear some people talk that are very influential in USC, like alums like Lynn Swan. Not as much support from Snoop, which won't be a decision maker, but it's part of the process out there at USC. This is a big game for him. They're favored by 14. Now, granted, I think they'll win. Because I don't know what's going on with Rutgers defensively. That's the biggest letdown, because generally Greg Schiano, with his experience as a coordinator and his expectations are defense and special teams will keep them in every game. They've been getting exposed defensively to the tune of, like you said, 30 or 40 points, especially against UCLA. Quarterback had the 350 yards passing. That means there's in your coverage and your game plan, there are some big holes.
Does that make it even more disappointing that Nebraska only put up 14 points, or is that, hey, Rutgers is on scholarship too, they're going to play with pride after what Washington did?
I think the breaking point was Nebraska. I think there was plays to be made for Nebraska against Rutgers. I think they played a different game and
didn't make them. Rutgers didn't
fix them. And I think Nebraska kind of wore them out a little bit as far as from a physical standpoint, more than we gave them credit for. But yeah, there was meat on the bone there. So they're kind of like, okay, well, we've been struggling a little bit. And I think Rutgers came in and had a really good day against us. I think we played not as well as we could, but look, we played the game. So it's interesting. And plus we play a different style than those other teams. And I think Rutgers is wearing down, and they always had depth issues coming into the season. So, for a Friday night slate, this is probably one of the better ones we're going to get. Right? You got Louisville at Boston College.
Sneaky.
Right? Sneaky. Brom, Bill O'Brien. At Boston College at 6:30 is not fun. And it's probably raining out there right now. Louisville is favored, but if Boston College gets back to the way they played against Florida State, run, control the clock, play action pass game, control passing game, and unleash that pass rush, because they have 2 or 3 guys that are going to play at the next level, Louisville could walk out there with an L. Then you have Boise State at UNLV.
Playoff
implications. And UNLV probably is just laying in the weeds, ready to attack. Then you got Rutgers at USC.
UNLV had its own plan spoiled by Syracuse. So UNLV saying, our turn.
And the way, if you really want to get national respect, stop probably He's probably the front runner for the Heisman, right?
I would hope so.
Right? I mean, if
Yeah.
he's not, it's Travis Hunter and him pretty much, and Cam Ward. Those three. And if he has a big game right now, 9:30 on a Friday night, everybody's going to be watching. They have a big leg up to getting into the college football playoffs, and he's definitely going to have his, at least the first couple letters in his name etched on that Heisman already. So for a Friday night slate, it's a pretty good Friday night of college football with a lot of implications. Implications of college football playoffs: Boston College exceeding expectations, Louisville not reaching expectations, and then you have job security or not so secure with our friend Lincoln Riley.
Let me ask you, if you're putting a football program together, would you rather have Lincoln Riley as your head coach or your offensive coordinator?
Coordinator. Not even a question. No, you won't ever get him. You won't ever get him as a coordinator.
So you think, let's say this ends poorly for USC. They go 6-6 or worse.
Oh, you know what? I'd take him as a head coach.
But you'd prefer him as a coordinator?
Depends on where I'm at.
Okay, because my only worry with him as a coordinator is that there's still some of that ego and power trip potentially.
Right, yeah, and that's why I backed off of that.
Yeah, because he was still up and coming under Stoops, but he's had a taste of a couple, pretty prestigious jobs.
Yeah.
I think that Lincoln Riley is driven enough to still want to be a head coach, but I worry that if he goes to, I'm just going to throw schools out here, like a Nevada or a San Jose State or whatever, he's going to think that those programs are below him. He'll have one foot out the door right away.
Yeah, he's not.
Whereas,
if he's going to coordinate somewhere, it's going to be like what Chip Kelly did.
Exactly. He's got to be either a power conference coordinator or bust for me, because he's going to think, at least my outside perception is other jobs are below him. And a head coach that hires him obviously won't be looking over his shoulder.
Yeah.
But as an AD, that's a relationship you have to monitor, because you kind of got to, I would think, watch Lincoln Riley. What kind of little power moves or subtle jabs is he going to make?
It's no different than Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore.
Okay.
And also you have a coordinator or former head coach as a coordinator that's really going to be calling plays to get another job.
Yeah.
So he's always going to be a head coach. I think he's hireable. I think that he's not as good as what USC thought. I think his shortcomings come on the other side of the ball, which is defensive side of the ball, and he doesn't put a big emphasis on it, and that's his choice. That's on him.
Well, he needs to find someone that his own Eric Shenander, right? He thought he had,
but I think I like the new coordinator.
Deanne Lynn.
I like it. I like him.
Yeah, he's solid.
I just think it might. I don't think it's too little, too late, but I think this recruiting class, this transfer portal class, it's all or bust next year. All or nothing.
How big is the loss of Bear Alexander?
It's huge. I think he was the most physical guy that you had. He was playing well, and whatever it was, I must say probably NIL related, right? Which it seemed like, and playing time hadn't worked out. Now you lose him. They're gonna have to attack and get the most legit defensive lineman in the portal or JUCO right now. I mean, next year.
That's
to have a chance.
Right. That's a tough situation for them, because it's kind of like what we've talked about with Nebraska to some degree, because there are going to be some prospects that would say, oh, all you need is a physical defensive lineman. I can step in there and plug that hole. There's some others that are going to say, you've never developed physical defensive linemen. Why would I want to go there?
Yeah. So that's the thing. I'm not sure. We can check often later at a later time. We can check the defensive line coach along with Lynn, the defensive coordinator. That has to eliminate any doubt.
Yeah.
So whether you got to go make a play for another defensive line coach, which I thought in that first game their defensive line took a step in the right direction. So I like that even maybe a little bit more. They just they're going to have to go acquire a couple of defensive tackles in a true middle linebacker, and they'll be just fine. But then also once you do all that, he has to change his philosophy on how to win.
Yeah.
He's got to commit. Here we go to the run game.
Broken record.
Right. I mean, he does, especially as the season goes. And this is before I take off. This is why you have to commit and really have to have a legit run game. Now, granted, I think Nebraska's run game, if you had some other pieces working better as far as blocking, the numbers would be different. So then the questions wouldn't be there, right? Good running teams have excellent perimeter blocking and downfield blocking, and I call it second effort blocking. You look at us, whether it's Abdul Muhammad, Corey Dixon, even before I got here, Even the likes of, with like even Cluster or anybody else that played receiver or wingback, it's not just their initial blocks, it's their second effort blocks, the sprung rolls or the sprung runs. But the reason why you have to commit to the run game is because once you get past the halfway point of the season or close to it, teams already have watched you on tape. You're not going to run any plays they haven't seen before.
No.
Or concepts that you haven't seen before. In general, 80-90% you've already kind of run. So to get to the ones that work, you have to kind of smoke screen them and dominate them and to have a efficient run game. So it's a commitment to the run, but then also you have to execute it.
I would be really interested to see this USC team if Matt Entz had been the one that was able to bring Jabril Cox with him to USC instead of him going to LSU a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. It would have been really interesting to see. What was the drastic change from LSU game? I don't think philosophy changed. And Maryland, Penn State game.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, did you lucky in the second half against Wisconsin?
Right.
It looked like you figured it out again for a minute.
Right.
And then you lost it again.
So what is it? Is it calls, fronts, personnel, like that? Whatever that game and that series of or that second half against Wisconsin, whatever it was, you need to bottle that up and expand it.
Yeah.
You need to have that as your foundation, and then all the foo-foo stuff comes after that. Now, granted, against Penn State, their prey man, I call it, he's a prey man as linebacker. He's like 6'6", like 220. The dude can cover receivers, tight ends, rush the passer, and play linebacker. He was out.
Yeah.
I don't think he's back. He might be back this game. That also hurt their team because obviously not against the run, but he gives them a tremendous amount of flexibility along with his length and speed to make up for some of his size and bulk, deficiencies. So we'll see. Good slate. But we're going to take a quick break, come back. Austin's going to be solo. I'm going to be going to track down your boy Nick. But this is Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Rabbit Hole Bakery, located at 8th and Q in the Haymarket, is the ideal place for fresh breakfast items or desserts made daily. Cream puffs, cinnamon rolls, carrot cake, sweet potato, pecan cookies, brownies, blondies. Do I need to keep going? What about bread pudding with homemade bourbon caramel sauce? Stop by the Rabbit Hole Bakery at 8th and Q in the Haymarket today to satisfy your cravings. And if you're looking for larger group orders, they do that too. Order ahead on their website at therabbitholebakery.com today.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now. Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. Education is a cornerstone for strong, vibrant communities. I voted for the largest investment in education in Nebraska history. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Nebraska is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local family business owners and understand the valuable role of education in growing our community. This is Carolyn Bozin, and I will continue to support education in the legislature. Vote Carolyn Bozin on November 5th, paid for by Bozin for Legislature.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry, this deal ends soon. See Home Club for details.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Label Built, built to serve, built to last. What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up, the new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh yeah, this is a game changer. Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better. When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze out of the north and a high around 65. Tonight, clear skies and calm winds, the low around 36. And tomorrow, we'll see increasing clouds throughout the day with an afternoon high around 64. I'm meteorologist Kyle Puck from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
that's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
It's the greatest time of the year again. Kickoff is here and football is officially back. Over 1 million fans across 33 states got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog, and this year you can too. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward and signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up with promo code EARLY, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code EARLY to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 19 plus in Nebraska and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. This is Old School on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. DP, boots on the ground in Columbus, Ohio. Jay Foreman getting ready to head over to Seacrest Field for tonight's high school game here on these 93.7 The Ticket airwaves. Lincoln East and Lincoln Southeast. Jay on the call with Nick Sainert. I don't know what Jay's talking about, saying he needs to slap some sense into Nick. So very curious to hear from those two what that's about, how that goes, and the like. So I guess we'll see. They're both supposed to be on pregame for Nebraska, Ohio State tomorrow, starting at 8 o'clock. I guess we will see if that's true or not. Let's just all make sure that we monitor the football game tonight to make sure both of them make it through. 402-464-5685. Got a few minutes here in this segment. Here's the question. What player or what matchup gives Nebraska any advantage over Ohio State tomorrow? 402-464-5685 or drop a comment on stream. Both of those are courtesy thanks to Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Richard Conway on Facebook said, it seems that every week the Husker sideline doesn't have very much enthusiasm. You know, maybe not. It's one of those situations where I don't think that Nebraska is a rah-rah team, right? I don't think Nebraska is necessarily the most jovial sideline. I don't think it's the most demonstrative sideline by any means, right? You certainly see guys getting excited, guys getting hyped up. But to what degree and how do they sustain that energy? That's maybe where I would have the questions, right? It's easy to get fired up during big plays. And it's very easy to see on the sideline when guys are dancing around, they're having a good time, they're celebrating each other. But what you see less often than the enthusiasm on the sideline are the conversations that happen between guys picking each other up, between guys saying, hey, what did you see? Let's see if we can diagnose this properly and get it fixed for next time. I would rather see a sideline that is locked in, focused, and engaged than one that's overly enthusiastic, I guess. Obviously, you need enthusiasm, right? Momentum is the fakest real thing or the realest fake part about sports. You can't measure it, but it's real at the same time. So, yeah, enthusiasm and emotion play into momentum, just at their core. But the other part of momentum is being businesslike, is being focused on doing your job and not getting caught up in the moment. That's the fascinating thing about this Nebraska football team for me, is that it's a team that doesn't necessarily get caught up in the moment emotionally, but it's also not so monotonous and steady that it can't use a jolt of enthusiasm, right? I'm not saying that Nebraska needs to amp one up, but not the other, right? Nebraska can't turn into football robots. They're not Georgia. They're not Bama. They're not, 90s Nebraska, whatever you want to say. They are not so consistent in their preparation and their execution, at least from what we see on Saturday, to where they can be 65-35 process over emotion. But by that same token, Nebraska is not emotional enough that it can lean into riding the wave to a big run in a game necessarily. Maybe it could work against UTEP. You can say it did against Colorado, but that hasn't necessarily held true in other games so far this season. And then my biggest question mark about this Nebraska team is when that fire is dying down, when you're on the last couple sticks and twigs of the campfire, who's the guy, who's the playmaker that tosses another log on the fire, that gives Nebraska life, that gives Nebraska a spark? There are certainly candidates up and down the roster, right? We'll start with the five-star freshman phenom quarterback, Dylan Raiola. Okay. Can he make a big throw at a big time to spark the crowd? Can Isaiah Nayer get free on the perimeter and have a touchdown against UTEP or do some run after the catch? Can Jamal Banks convert on a long third down? Can Dante Dowdell run someone over when the moment calls for it? Can Emmett Johnson make someone miss in the hole and turn a 5-yard gain into a 15 or 20-yard gain? Can Thomas Fidone pop up and do that? Can an offensive lineman pancake someone? Who on offense is the player throwing that log on the fire when it's dwindling down? Is Ja'Cory Barney? Is it Carter Nelson? I don't know. There are certainly options there, but Nebraska hasn't necessarily identified who it's going to go to in those kind of dull moments where you're just waiting for something to happen. And until Nebraska figures out who its go-to players are, or even its go-to player is, I don't trust Nebraska offensively to be able to spark a whole lot, right? I think about the 0 points in the second half against Colorado. You think about the slog of the first half against Purdue. It took the halftime break and even a little bit more time. It took Purdue scoring for Nebraska to get going. At some point, Nebraska has to be internally motivated, and Nebraska has to have someone on that sideline, preferably a player, but maybe it's the right buttons being pressed by a coach or a group of coaches, that when the flame is dwindling, spark it, right? Find some dry brush, find some dry leaves, some twigs, some sticks, whatever. Even if you don't have a whole fresh log to throw on the fire, even if you don't have that 14 play, 8-minute drive that puts 7 points on the board, if that's the log to the fire, or maybe it's even just a one play, a 65, 70-yard touchdown, right? We haven't seen that from Nebraska either. It's just in a weird spot right now. And that's why, again, I kind of question where Nebraska's identity is, because Nebraska is not explosive enough to lean so far into the boom or bust like it's felt like the offense has been. But Nebraska is not so consistent, and steady to where you trust the offense to put up points at the end of a long drive. It's a frustrating spot to be in for the offense. And that's before we talk about the defense. You would think that there are even more candidates to spark something from the veteran defense like Nebraska has. But where's that been from Ty Robinson in the last month? Where's that been from Nash Hutmaker in the last month? Shoot, Jamari Butler, where's that been for the vocal leader of that defense? John Bullock's shown up. I'll give him that. Hasn't made a splash play in a couple games. Mekhi Bayer, really hit or miss. Secondary, okay, you do get an interception last week. What did it mean? It was on a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. So, again, for this defense especially, that is the group. And I said this last year, and some of you agreed with me. More of you thought I was off my rocker for wanting more out of the defense. A top 20 unit pretty comfortably last year, maybe top 15 and top 10 by some metrics. But what I was trying to get at last year, and I still believe with all my heart, is that there's got to be another level for this defense. And if there's not, okay, but let's admit it, right? We're still waiting for the true breakout from this defense where it actually wins a game. It makes that one extra play. It gets off the field on that crucial third down. It creates a turnover where there wasn't one. We would like to think there are enough players on this defense to do this. Maybe there's not. Maybe this defense is just a good, pretty good, but not great unit. And that's fine. Okay? If that's what Nebraska's defense is, so be it. But let's just have the honest conversation about what this defense is, what it can be, because we haven't necessarily seen that game-changing play for this defense since Colorado. You had the safety against UTEP. That gave me hope that, hey, maybe this defense, this unit, can make that big play when things look dire, when things look bleak, they aren't going your way, that, hey, they're going to step up and make a play. Even Tommy Hill, right? The pick six against Colorado to really bury the the Buffaloes. Even that was, hey, this defense stepped up in a big moment and made a play. But when the offense was struggling, the defense didn't step up and make that play against Indiana. Maybe it did against Purdue and against Rutgers, but I really hesitate to give too much credit against offenses as putrid as those. Chris and Stewart, intensity isn't always something that's easily noticed on a sideline. Acting like you've been there is a real thing. Unfortunately, Nebraska hasn't really been there yet. This team needs someone to speak up and light a fire, but quiet assassins can be deadly too. Yeah, that's true. I would agree with that. The fake it till you make it aspect is another one that I think is worth hitting on because, again, since Colorado, this defense hasn't made that key play. It's done it before, but it hasn't done it consistently. Not to the Iowa level where you can almost manifest a pick six or a scoop and score or a sack or whatever it is. So you got to fake it till you make it. But really, Nebraska's just been faking it. When's the last time you felt good about Nebraska's defense changing a game? At some point, there's got to be a make it. Because I don't think this defense is entirely fake. There should be more big playmakers on this defense than there are. But maybe we've been having the wrong conversations. Maybe we're overrating the impact these players can make individually, because that's what it comes down to. Yes, big plays are made in the concept of scheme, right? If you do your job, you do it to the best of your ability, you'll probably be in position to make a play more often than not. But Matt Rule even said it. He said, I want guys to do their job and then go make a play. They're not two different things. They don't have to be. At some point, Nebraska either needs one of its highly touted, well-respected players on defense, or offense for that matter, but we're talking about defense right now, to step up and make a play that's above and beyond their job, or Nebraska needs better players. And I think both things can be true. We'll go to break. We'll wrap up Old School, but don't go anywhere at 6. Corner 3. We'll have about 45 minutes. We'll go through who is the face of college basketball and then draft college basketball coaches. We got the Carl Anthony Towns podcast back. Corner 3, crossing over with the stretch big. Jacob Bigelow will be my guest. In fact, he's on his way in right now. We'll cross it over with him. Get you set up for Corner 3 after this.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been told by your physician that your testosterone level is fine, but you don't feel fine? Get a second opinion. If your testosterone level is 200, 350, even 500, and you still have symptoms, come to Limitless Male. We treat the person and the symptoms, not the number. Our mission is for you to feel optimal again. So if you're tired all the time, no energy, brain fog, muscle loss, nothing left in the tank, get your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of health care, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Nebraska is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local family business owners and proud to be involved in our community. Property tax relief is important to every family. Last year, I voted for the largest property tax relief package in Nebraska history, and I will continue to advocate for property tax relief. Vote Carolyn Bozin on November 5th, paid for by Bozin for Legislature.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. As you gear up for game day this season, don't forget the MVP in your life. Whether it's a ruby bracelet to show off her team spirit or a timeless Heartland diamond that shines from across the room, we've got the perfect play. Our experts at Sartor Heyman are here to help you make the winning move. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and we want to thank all of our customers for a great September. And now it's time for our annual Halloween sales event happening right now at Copple. Get 0% financing at Copple. You heard right, 0% financing on select new models. Also, huge discounts up to $11,500 are available. It's our annual Halloween sales event. Get $11,500 off or 0% financing at Copple. So please stop on by or check us out online at copplecars.com. You'll be glad you did 0% with roof credit.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as painting and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back one final time here on Old School. I had a wardrobe change. The stretch big comes through again. Jacob Bigelow in the building. Jacob, you mentioned that you had this because of a fantastic conversation you had with Tate Frazier. First of all, I did listen. I talked a big game about not listening because he's a tar hole. But I gave in. I listened. And then through the course of talking with you about this, you revealed you had a vintage starter jacket with Duke Blue Devils. And you brought it for me.
I did.
I'm speechless. I'm honored beyond words. Thank you.
No problem, man. That's just a little token of my appreciation. If you're going to let me, come in here a couple times, talk a little ball with you, the least I can do is tell you I appreciate it. And that's been sitting in my closet a little longer than I thought it would when I acquired it. And I figured I'd pass it along to someone who I know will appreciate it. So there you are, my good friend.
I got a new game day token. So this is coming out for Champions Classic.
Of course.
Guaranteed.
Of course. We'll be here before we know it, man. It's sneaking up.
Ain't that the truth? Well, before we get to the corner three, I like that we have a little crossover segment here. Some horrifying news out of college basketball yesterday, and it'll kind of lead into what we're talking about later in the show. Amir Abdur-Rahim passes away at 43. Some are saying aggressive illness, complications from surgery. What an incredible story his coaching career was, and one that you hate to see cut off the way it was.
Yeah, man. As someone, by no means am I a college basketball insider, but I'm fairly tied in with coaches across the country. And when I got that phone call yesterday, it was hard to not get emotional. Because his coaching story he was only a head coach for 5 seasons, I believe, 4 at Kennesaw State, and then this past year at South Florida. And there's so much more to be written in his coaching story. From taking Kennesaw State from 1-28 in his first season to the NCAA tournament in year 4, and they take Xavier to the wire. He goes to South Florida, a program that has never won a conference championship in basketball in its history, and they now have won regular season conference championship this past season. He wins AAC Coach of the Year, and then they fall in the AAC tournament, so they don't make the big dance. But Amir Abdur-Rahim, and this is one thing. I never had the chance to meet him, but I know people who coached against him, people who were in the same league, and you rarely hear such a roaring, clean endorsement of any coach that people just universally adore for not just the coach he is, the program he runs, but the man he was. Yeah. And that was clearly evident with Amir based on the reaction yesterday. And it's still. It's hard for me not to be a little emotional, and I didn't even know the guy. So yesterday was a tough day for the sport. One of the more up and coming coaches gone far too young, far too soon.
If you haven't listened to his post game from Kennesaw State Xavier, find some time. We'll see if we can retweet it from the On the Block Twitter account for people to listen to, because that was a motivator. That was an inspiration to so many young men, including a top 15 player in the NBA, Anthony Edwards, who he convinced to go to Georgia and who he asked, hey, should I go to little old Kennesaw State and do this? And Anthony Edwards said, bro, go do it, right? You're going to build it up, have confidence in yourself. So if he's good enough for Anthony Edwards, he's going to be good enough for most college basketball players and heads.
Absolutely. And between that and his South Florida introductory presser too, where he talks about telling one of his daughters, I hope you're not afraid of heights because you're going to have to get up on the ladder with me to cut down nets. And what do you know? They win the regular season championship in the AAC in year one. So there's a lot out there. There's a lot out there to watch, a lot to take in about Amir, and obviously, thinking about his family, his players, that community down in Tampa that had been revitalized around USF basketball in just a short time. He was only there for 19 months, and the mood around that program is completely different than when he got there.
Not that Florida is a huge hoops hotbed, but to see South Florida pop up the way they did, I mean, Miami's always spicy and interesting. UF might be good.
FAU these past couple years with Dusty May.
Florida State was always a pain in the butt. Trying to think. FIU never really. UCF was a defensive menace, though.
And there's a lot of good. I mean, and I know this because I have family in the Tampa area. I mean, there's been a lot of good college players to come out of the Tampa area. I know when people think Florida, they think football, they think Miami-Dade, they think guys going in there to fight for 5 stars and 4 stars in SEC, ACC country. But there's been a good run of basketball talent to come out of Florida, especially out of the Tampa area, and it's got a little. There's plenty of juice down there. Some good coaches, and there's been a run. I mean, Billy Donovan at Florida seems like eons ago now, but I mean, that's those are my earliest thoughts with hoops in that state. But there's a lot of good program. I mean, there's plenty of D1 programs, but there's a lot of good coaches that play good ball in good leagues too.
Are you telling me that Tampa is the Omaha of Florida in terms of basketball talent?
That's a good question. Well, I think at least the talent in Tampa will end up playing in Florida. Is that too soon? Too much?
Yeah, it ain't wrong.
There's more options too. There's more options to stay home and play in Florida, but the comp could be there. The comp could be there. You got my family. You got roots from my family tree in both cities, so that's one similarity.
Before we officially get to Corner 3 here in just a sec, tell people about your conversation with Tate Frazier, where they can find it.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to talk to Tate. He's the host of One Shining Podcast on The Ringer. He's been doing college basketball content for a really long time. He originally was Bill Simmons' podcast producer when he first started off at The Ringer, and then he had his own show with Mark Titus. They left The Ringer for a few years to go to Fox. Now Tate's back there. He's, as Austin said, he's a North Carolina guy through and through, but he's one of the longest running members of the college basketball content game. He was on the most recent episode of The Stretch Big, my podcast. You can find that on your preferred podcast platform of choice. I thought it was a really fun conversation, insightful stuff, looking at some big picture teams, players, storylines to watch, because college basketball is almost here.
Ain't that the truth? I think you convinced him about Omaha too. He's in. That's the important part.
Yeah, he might have been in already. He was talking about covering the College World Series for the UNC student newspaper. So he was already in on Omaha. I just had to educate him on the little recent basketball history.
There you go. Check that out after you're done listening to Corner 3. That's coming up next here on The Ticket. We will go through the face of college basketball. Who is it? What does it take to be the face? Who are our picks for that? And then we're drafting coaches. We got an 8-man rotation each. It'll be snake draft style. We're not just putting together our best roster. We are actually drafting coaches. They're taken. They're off the board. Give us your top 8, 402-464-5685. We'll get Corner 3 underway in just a sec.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals